In astrology, everything has a birth time, but knowing as accurate of a birth time as possible is critically important. And Robert Glasscock and I have created a program to help you do just that. A crystal clear 30-minute video outlining the technique, an MP3 of a podcast explaining it, and a step-by-step instructional PDF. So you get it 3 different ways, and how you get it is at the top of the funastrology.com website. Check it out and give it a try on your own chart. Welcome in to the Hump Day Fun Astrology February 5th podcast. Thomas Miller, thanks so much for joining us. We have no exact aspects in the sky today, so we have this blank slate of all kinds of wonderful things to talk about. I eventually want to get to this shifting energy that we are moving from Pisces into Aries with Saturn and Neptune, but we'll get there in a minute. A couple of other things. There is one thing today. The moon goes void of course. That's the big news in the sky today. The moon goes void of course. That beautiful moon, did you catch it, by the way? Did you see it conjunct with Venus? Oh, that was so special over the weekend and early part of the week. But today it goes void of course at 10:30 this evening Eastern Time. And as we mentioned on Monday, it is that favorable sextile to Neptune. So you've got the moon on your side all the rest of today. And then early in the morning, while most of us are asleep, it goes into Gemini. And Kristin is going to talk about that a little bit tomorrow. A chatty connecting moon. All right, one other thing we haven't talked about in a while is the oracle planet, the one that comes up in the horizon before the sun, and that right now has been Mercury. That will only last the rest of this week. On Sunday, Mercury and the sun come together, conjoin, and Mercury will keep on going. So next week, with Monday, begins Pluto as the oracle planet, and that won't change for a while. It will be March 8th before the sun has finally caught up with the Pisces gang, and that will change the dynamic there. But at least for the whole month of February and the first week of March, it will be Pluto announcing the sun. What does that mean? Well, this is like what I want to get to anyway. Are we not going through transformation right now? And I know people are talking about February's energy shifting, myself included, I do believe. And yet, this is one of those things that in this yin-yang balance polarity sky that we have, that was the New Year's Eve chart, we can't tip the scales one side or the other. Because with Pluto, its polarity is death and then rebirth. The caterpillar butterfly is really the ultimate example. You can't have one without the other. The other thing that Pluto represents is power. So if you needed some extra power this month, then you could certainly work on that. Pluto in Aquarius, that's pretty revolutionary. So if you're, I'm not looking at the mundane here, I'm looking at us individually. Come up with some new ideas and float them out. They might just work. What was Steve Jobs' quote about the ones crazy enough to think they can change the world will be the ones who do? Well, you might be able to think that you can change your own world a little bit, and you just might. What are the dates of that again? Well, it starts on Monday, this coming Monday, and it goes all the way through the first week of March. You could also look up some of the other characteristics of Pluto if you wanted to go into a deeper list. Now, there's another one I wanted to address, especially with yesterday's Jupiter turning direct. Thank you, Liz Grace Christie, for telling us about that. Somebody on Twitter I saw over the weekend was talking about the plane crash relative to Jupiter being in retrograde in Gemini, which, of course, is the third sign of the zodiac, ruling the third house of the zodiac of transportation. Now, I know this person is a good astrologer and charges like $1,000 for some of the readings. So that kind of contextualizes things for me. This is really about helping people. But here's the deal. Jupiter has been retrograde since October 9th of last year. So you can't isolate a broad category between October 9th and February 4th and say that that's dangerous to travel by air or bus or plane or train, kind of thing. I guess it's how we look at the moon wobble or Mercury retrograde. It's like here's a window of alertness, awareness, caution even. But if you missed Monday's episode, I'd say go back and listen to that because I told about my little technique that I do when I'm getting ready to travel or do anything like that. Will I come back in the same condition that I am when I leave? And then trust the universe, trust the answer. But Jupiter's retrograde is over, Uranus's retrograde is over, but they are both still very, very strong and will be for another couple of weeks. It's going to be a long time before they get out of their shadows, so just realize we're still kind of in that energy. I would keep flying the caution flag. All right, let's talk about one other thing that is so inevitable. Neptune and Saturn together are moving toward the air sign of Aries. If you've been feeling some shifting about what you want to be doing, what you think you should be spending your life working on right now, what course and direction do you need to pivot? Is there something different that you need to be doing? That's very much the energy that is reflected by this. Listen to this timeline. Neptune first enters on March 30th. This March 30th coming up. We have 2 more months of Neptune in Pisces. Saturn moves into Aries a couple of months later, May 24th. All right, so March 30th, Neptune, May 24th, Saturn. They just stick their toe in, retrograde. They come back out. Then, after retrograding back into Pisces, in the fall, September for Saturn, October for Neptune, they go back into Aries, kind of like a rocking chair going back and forth, this little slingshot going whoom, back and then back. And then, within 3 weeks of each other, in early 2026, within 3 weeks of each other, they both conjoined, basically, move into Aries finally, for Saturn until 2055, for Neptune until 2188. This is incredible real estate that we are sitting on in the chart right now. This is not only once in a lifetime, this is once in a soul lifetime kind of energy. So don't miss it. And we're going to start talking about it more because we're heading in that direction. But already I've been feeling like a whole just this reassessment. What's most important right now? Aries is action energy. It's like the spiritual focus of Neptune and Pisces is getting ready to turn into a whole different action kind of energy. And Neptune's going to be there a while, all the way to 2038. So just as we're experiencing Pluto, the slowest mover, in Aquarius and everything we've talked about that representing, now we're going to add this component of Neptune in Aries, shifting everything spiritually. Kids being born under Neptune and Aries are going to be different kids than the ones born in Pisces. You remember Steve Forrest's article, When the Saints Go Marching In? Well, the saints have come in. Now the warriors are going to come in. Look for feelings of urgency, aggression, certainly, in both a positive and negative sense. Always with Neptune addictions, what things do you have to have? But also, most importantly, especially with Neptune now at the end of Pisces, and Lisa's going to be talking about this on Friday, conjoining the North Node. This energy is all about where is my life headed? And we have the luxury of time with these slow movers. This is not a passing fancy. This energy is going to be baking in. So we have time to process it, time to work with it. And I hope you will start to set your sights on that. Wow, not bad for a day with no planets doing anything in the sky. Well, enjoy the moon today, and I will see you back on Saturday with Dr. Merriman. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Love you. Bye-bye.